Hi Aries, thanks for joining me and welcome to Rose Sky Tarot. Now this reading is for the 3rd of June and the following 2 weeks. Now you've probably noticed that we've gone back to, the old style of doing this, and this is a life reading for you. And it's because I've listened to what you've had to say. So we're going to move back towards this reading for the moment. All right, just give me a second now and let me take this in, and then we'll be off. All right, now let's start over here as usual, and we've got the Page of Wands in reverse, the High Priestess, the Six of Wands in reverse. All right. Now, is there an experience that's relatively new to you? Something that you have wanted to try? It could be a new job. It could be something that you've joined in with, something that's voluntary. And it's something that you've not had experience in before, that you're trying to feel your way to learn through this experience. But the key thing here is that you don't want to appear silly or childish. And that's very key for you. And it's something that, should that happen, your enthusiasm for taking part in it starts to diminish. Because making changes in your life is something that's not easy for you. And being in a position that other people are maybe, drawing themselves to you, maybe being sarcastic, maybe looking at you when you're trying to do things, and it's putting you maybe on edge a little bit. Is your temper then starting to fray at this unwelcome attention? This is something that you could be disappointed in because this experience is not going the way that you planned it to. But the only way that you could find this out is by actually participating. Because the High Priestess here is telling me that this is something that's a new beginning for you. You've not done this before. And it's something that you have to physically try to be present in, to be able to understand everything that's involved. But it's also about using your intuition and insight both to the circumstances, the environment, the people round about you, and yourself. Because this card here and this card here is surrounding the High Priestess, and both of them have disappointment strongly rooted within them. Are you trying something here that you really don't know how it's going to go? You're kind of feeling your way. The only way you're going to know how this is going to turn out is by trying it. That's the only way that you'll be able to get the insight into whether this is the right thing for you or not. With the Six of Wands in reverse here, do you feel that people are looking at you? Is there the disappointment ongoing within you, and possibly you feel within others round about you? Are you beginning to feel, because of that attention, a little bit humiliated because there is an ongoing level of disappointment? Are you feeling that you're feeling in whatever this experience is? Let's move on to the next section, and we've got the Strength card in reverse, the Queen of Swords, and the King of Cups. Are these feelings within this experience beginning to overwhelm you? Has this been a negative experience and all of your fears and disappointments appear to be coming true? And this could instill within you a lot of overpowering emotions. Is your control and patience with others and yourself beginning to diminish? Is your temper beginning to fray? And your fears about being made to look silly, do you feel that they're all beginning to come true? Are they overwhelming you? And with the Queen of Swords here, that is there someone either that's within this experience, or someone within your family, your friends, could even be, an independent person that's not related to anything else within your life. And it could be that, sitting down and chatting with that person, getting all of these fears, disappointments, insecurities, overwhelming emotions, anger, temper tantrums, vulnerabilities within you. You're getting all of that out in conversation. And the good thing about that is that this person here has lived a full life. They have so many experiences, good and bad, that's hidden within them, that their advice can be extremely useful and very wise. They're able to give you, ideas of how to cope with these feelings. They could be giving you advice on how to communicate better with the people round about you. They could be giving you maybe a plan or a strategy in what to do next. And with the King of Cups here, whether this is maybe a family member, it could be a couple, or it could be the same person that has a variety of different supports within them. They may be able to give you advice, but they're also able to guide you emotionally. Because this person here does actually care about you. They care about how you feel. They're very compassionate to the things that they've been through. Sorry, they're very compassionate to the things that you've been through because they've been through it too. It may not be the exactly same thing, but it's similar enough to be able to give you relevant advice. But the thing is, with the King of Cups, and especially linking that with the Queen of Swords, who, you know, is a representation of truth, that with the King of Cups here, they may be compassionate, they may be supportive, but if you are doing something that is not in your best interests or the best interests of people round about you, then they'll call you on it. Let's move down to the next section, and we've got the Nine of Pentacles in reverse, the Four of Cups in reverse, and the Nine of Cups in reverse. So this is a little bit of a low period here. The Nine of Pentacles here is telling me that maybe this experience after this discussion is something that you don't want to continue with. Have you maybe been looking towards this situation in which you're going to be learning? Are you expecting people to be telling you how wonderful you've been doing? That's not really been happening. And this just fuels the disappointment that seems to be ongoing in this experience. Has this had, with the Four of Cups in reverse here, a negative effect on how you feel about yourself? Are you maybe feeling very low? Maybe finding it extremely difficult to get away from that feeling? Are your emotions bombarding you and telling you that, you're not doing very well? There's lots of criticisms that you're aiming at yourself. And that's just perpetuating how low you're feeling. That the effort that you need to put in to get away from this situation is just not happening. Is it possible that because of these negative feelings and how you're feeling and the downward spiral that you appear to be in is encouraging you to do things that are not in your best interest? How you respond to things are maybe more negative than they would be on a different day. The Nine of Cups in reverse here is telling me that You are sitting back. You are maybe wallowing a little bit in these negative feelings. Are you beginning to overindulge? Is there a possibility that, there's possibly alcohol, possibly drugs, possibly you're burning the candle at both ends in an attempt to make yourself feel better? And this is all tied into, the Four of Cups in reverse here, because this is all part of your reaction to feeling low and being on a downward spiral. Are you beginning to think only of yourself? Nobody else appears to matter. And the dissatisfaction that's here seems to be perpetuating. Now, you're wallowing in this negativity. Let's move on to the next section here, and we've got the Devil, the Hermit in reverse, and the King of Pentacles. Are you letting your shadow side take over? Are you giving in to your urges? And those urges can take a whole variety of different representation. It could be that it's alcohol. It could be going out and socialising and burning the candle at both ends, taking things to extreme. It could be that it's drugs. It could be that, whatever it is that you feel an overwhelming need that is going to extreme, that you're obsessed about, that you can't seem to give up, and your control in the situation is diminishing. It could be that it's sex. It could be that you're moving into a situation where exploring is something that you're doing because you're trying to feel you're pushing the boundaries here. Extreme reactions. Do you maybe try using safe words? Is there, a representative of violence within your sexual nature that you're exploring? Or it could be that you're going out and picking fights just so that you're able to feel something, even if it is pain. And you feel that this is something that you're chained to, that you don't have control in this situation. But the thing is that you're putting yourself into those situations. You have gave up control. Even though you feel that you don't have control, you're the one that's initiating everything. And it's only you that can take all of those things away. With the Hermit in reverse here, are you maybe feeling a little bit lost in all of this? The more you go down this negative spiral, the more you're pulling away from the people who want to give you advice, people who want to love you. Maybe you're not wanting to go out and socialise with them. Maybe the only thing that you want to do these days is whatever this obsession or shadow side is. Are you thinking that, everybody's looking at you and you're the only person that they're talking about and it's all negative? Are you caught up within yourself that nothing else and no one else matters? The selfishness and self-absorption is also running through this, possibly with a negative connotation. Are you maybe reduced to obsessing about materialistic things? Are things being ground down to their monetary value, possibly to support whatever the obsession is that you've caught yourself up in? And you're being quite inventive in how you're getting the resources to fund this. But overall, here, there seems to be a moment that your own shadow side, your self criticism, your selfishness, and your downward spiral emotionally is pulling you away from everyone. The people that love you and want to give you advice are being blocked out because you're pulling away. Now, please be aware that tarot is something that explores different topics in life, but they do it to extremes. So these things may be happening within your life if it's relevant for you, but in a softer way than the plan that I've put out here. It could be that there's only one or two cards within this reading that touches on your life in any way. It could be that this is also representing someone that's within your life. Is it possible that you're one of these two people? Now, things do appear to have gotten a little bit out of control, but the only person that can pull you out of this is you. So please take care, Aries, and I'll see you next time. Bye.